just bringing your attention to the sound of the bell moving through time. And the sense of sitting, and the rising and falling of the breath. And notice the movement of the sound of the bell through time. And the movement of the breath through time. The entire movement, from the beginning of the in-breath to the end of it, and from the end of the in-breath to the beginning. The more sharply we can focus on the present moment, the less intrudes in it. The less thoughts, the less emotions, the less of the modern world. And the easiest way to work with our energy is with physical energy, specifically with tension. Releasing tightness and tension is a foundation for releasing all of the other unhelpful or uncomfortable elements of our experience. So we can release thought, we can release uncomfortable emotions, unhelpful thoughts, all of the elements of the monkey mind can be released if we can release the tension from our bodies. And so posture is a brilliant starting place. It's amazing how much tension drifts away when we put our elbows at our sides. And sit with our heads as comfortably as possible. On top of the spine. And the first finger and thumb in contact very gently. And the eyes closed. We can bring our attention to the closed eyes. As we breathe out. releasing the tightness from the eyes, the forehead, eyebrows, eyes and cheeks. I find that I can focus sharply enough, so I'm actually focusing on the eyeballs themselves, actually within them. And when I do that, I'm able to notice how on the out breath, the sensation of awareness of the eyeballs, the eyes itself, changes. And moves over to a comfortable sensation from quite a sharp one. And I can bring my attention to the jaw with the tongue very gently up against the sharp part of the bottom teeth. And I'm noticing the relaxation in the jaw as I breathe out. And then bringing my attention to my shoulders, it also tends to alert me of my posture as well. So I notice if that's slipped, if I'm leaning forward a bit, and if my head is craning back to adjust for the shoulders leaning forward. And I can just move my elbows back to straighten up the back, readjust the angle of the head on the neck. And each out breath is a permission for the arms to pull down on the shoulders. And then bringing my attention to my hands, just leaving the forefinger and thumb tip in contact for this period of time, 7 or 8 minutes. I've noticed how relaxed my hands are. And I can let the tightness drift out of them by scanning down from the wrist to the fingertips. And then releasing tension from all four of these areas. Breathing in, bringing my attention to, could be the eyes, could be the forehead, could be the space between the eyes, and breathing out a wave of relaxation, drifting down the body, down to the fingertips, down through the feet and into the floor. Again, checking in with the posture. And letting the tightness out. And that's the best way into physical energy depletion. The next thing we'll do is work with the mind. So letting your mind be free. And then gently bringing your attention to your mind in a very soft and gentle way. So it's as if the mind is a wall of fog. And we're just walking up to it and placing our hands on it. It's not a sharp focus, a deep focus. It's a soft focus. We're listening for the inner voice in the same way we listen to the hubbub of voices in a room where we can't detect any of the words. We're listening to the sound. And so when thoughts arise, in a way, it's like us being able to discern something in that fog. just noticing it. And when we notice the thought, we note it. By saying in the mind, thinking, thinking. On 2 separate out breaths. Back to waiting with a very gentle touch on the mind. If we have a constant chatter in the mind, then what triggers our noting is a powerful thought. So a powerful thought arises, saying in the mind, thinking, thinking. And what we can do is move a bit closer into the mind by noting thoughts depending on whether we recognize them or not. So if a thought arises and we recognize it, we say in the mind, repeating. If we don't recognize it or we're not sure about it, we say in the mind, fleeting. Just gently aware of the mind. When thoughts arise, recognize it, saying in the mind, repeating. Don't recognize it or we're not sure, fleeting. Fleeting, repeating. Just waiting for the next thought. Fleeting or repeating. Back, wait for the next thought, repeat. Noting the quality of thought. Again, letting your mind be free. And stepping back in your mind to notice, allow into your awareness whatever thoughts, whatever emotions, whatever sensory experiences, memories, comfort, discomfort, tiredness, alert, whatever it happens to be. Anything unhelpful or uncomfortable, bringing your attention to it. Breathing out, saying in the mind, releasing, releasing, on 2 separate out breaths. And then that overall inner awareness of thoughts, emotions, sense perceptions, smells, tastes, all of the inner experience, the breath, we're aware of it all. Anything unsatisfactory, anything uncomfortable, thoughts, emotions, any physical sensations, any tension, 2 out breaths, releasing, releasing. And then back to the breath. Just notice it all. Next unsatisfactoriness arises, releasing, releasing, and repeat. Let's practice this for the next minute. And whenever you're ready, in your very own time, return your attention to your surroundings.